Okay, good morning, guys. New ban list here in Duel Links. Okay, guys, what am I hoping for? Not gonna lie, guys, I don't think this format necessarily needs much of a ban list. I think that we have a really healthy format going on right now, and like I know that a lot of people might be like, oh, you need to nerf Despia, but if you ask competitive players, Despia is not that amazing. Okay. It doesn't need to be nerfed. You might be like, oh, but Masquerade 600 burn is too much. Without, it's not really that big of a deal because you just remove it first, and every deck finds some way of doing that. And so the decks that don't need to find a way to do that often will just save their interruption for the Dark Lord anyway. And I don't think you need to like limit stuff to make it harder for them to summon the Dark Lord either, because like the Dark Lord is a very strong play, but like it's kind of fair. Like if anything this format needs to get hit, it's maybe Floodgates, and even then maybe not. And then the Shadow window specific. But do we have skill changes? Yeah, we do have skill changes here, so maybe all right, you know what, just for the fact that it's the way we usually do things, let's look at the cards first. Okay, Dragos Tapelia. No, oh wait a minute. They didn't hit a single thing. That's hilarious. The reason I say that is because it says no longer on the list. This is usually the last thing we look at. The very, very last thing we look at. Which this means there's no bans, no limit 1s, no limit 2s, and no limit 3s. But Predator Plant Dracos Tapelia will mean that the decks that do want to play a limit 1 card in their deck, like obviously Predator Plants, right? But also Despia will be able to play this alongside that other limited to 1. So Despia play Allure of Darkness or Super Poly, they'll be able to play that and Dracos Tapelia now. That's that's pretty cool. I feel like, you know, Predator Plants has been nerfed for a long enough time that this is okay. But Orchestrated Babble, bro? Oh my god, dude. Orchestrated Babble is fucking crazy. On one hand, I'm like, are you sure you want Orcus to be okay? And on the other hand, it has been a long ass time. You know, maybe Orcus is just really easy to interrupt these days. You know, but you know, I think perhaps without further support, maybe it won't be enough. Can they play Armageddon Knight these days? I don't know. I don't remember. I think they unlimited Armageddon Knight. So maybe this is gonna make a difference. What limited 1 cards were they playing regardless of this? I don't remember, man. Maybe Loom, since this is his favorite deck or something, we'll probably figure something out. Guardian Slime. Now this is hilarious because I literally just dropped the raw advanced guide where I play 2 copies of this because 2 is the maximum amount of copies of this you can play. Would I play a third? Probably. I probably would play a third. It's really amazing for grind game. If you can just get Ancient Chant to add back a raw from your grave, then you can summon another Guardian Slime from deck or grave. But it's really great to summon it from grave because then you can search more Guardian Slime just to be a hand trap to help you stay alive for longer. Of course, they would unlimit Guardian Slime the same day I post a Winged Dragon of Ra video. When you post a Winged Dragon of Ra video, you don't expect that Konami's gonna buff it the same day. What are we talking about, bro? Mind Control unlimited. I guess this makes sense, bro. I mean, nobody would play this instead of Eclipse for the most part. So like, if it's gonna see any play at all, don't make him choose between it and Eclipse, because Eclipse is just a way better board breaker generally. But IDP, I feel like this was just gonna happen eventually for the same reason as Eclipse, but even more, because Eclipse is a better card, not because of IDP being bad, but because Eclipse is just more versatile. Why would you pick IDP instead of Eclipse? You won't. for the most part. So unlimiting IDP is going to allow this card to come back into the meta. Now, as a guy who enjoys zombie decks, I'm not exactly happy about this. My main thing is, there's been a lot of people saying that traps are bad in Duel Links, and I disagree. Traps are not bad in Duel Links. IDP has just been limited to 3. Alongside Eclipse. It's not that IDP is bad, it's just that Eclipse is better. Like, IDP is an incredibly damn good card, but now traps are going to be much better in Duel Links, because now we can actually play them without sacrificing our Eclipse. Salamangreat Recurrence, okay, looks like Salamangreat is getting some legitimate buffs, that's good. Will it be enough? It might actually be enough, because Salamangreats has been making a little bit of a resurgence in the competitive scene. Maybe not enough to be meta, but like this could be for real helpful for them. Flameville counter, okay. This one, they put this one to 1 preemptively because they were a bit worried that it would be OP in Battle Inboxers, but then Battle Inboxers has fallen off, so maybe that's why they unlimit it. Maybe it gives Battle Inboxers more of a chance. They can play other limit 1 cards. Orchestrated Release. Okay, this is the other limited 1 Orchest card. Now they can play both of these if they like. This is cool because it can, you know, it revives your Dingir suit on the opponent's turn. It's an interruption. Like, you could have Orchest Babble on the field with Symbol Skeleton in the grave, and that revives your Ding as an interruption. But then MST baits that out, and DD Crow baits that out. Orchestrated Release, it's still baitable by MST and DD Crow. If you could set up both, you would have a little bit more, like, you have Release and Babble on the field at the same time. It means only one MST isn't going to be enough. No Rush Duel changes, but it's not like we were checking for the Rush Duel changes anyway. They didn't hit any cards, but I'm not gonna lie, guys, they didn't really need to hit any cards, so I'm not bad. Maybe there's some skill nerf, or it could just be skill buffs. Let's find out. Reign of Shadows. The skill will be revised as follows to reduce the high adaptability of Shadow decks. Theater of Branded's opening. The skill will be revised as follows to reduce the high adaptability of Despia decks. Okay, so it seems like Shadows and Despia are both getting skill nerf. We'll see just how much of a nerf they get. I feel like Reign of Shadows is mostly fine, but if they took away Winda, that would open things up for a lot of decks. But that being said, there's a lot of decks that have an out to Winda these days inherently. Okay, so we are getting all of the Avarice skills buffed in some way. The MST skill buffed. The Book of Moon skill buff. Magical Warrior Call. I don't really know that skill. Galactic Effusion Draw. Oh, I see. That's rush stuff. We can ignore the rush stuff. Okay, so Reign of Shadows. You can only use the skill's second effect once per duel. Alright, so it's the same skill during this duel, during all of your turns. Okay, so this means that summons during the opponent's turn have been nerfed. The restrictions on your own turn are that you cannot normal special summon monsters with a level except Shadow monsters and spellcasters. So you can still use IP on the opponent's turn, but you can't Nibiru on the opponent's turn. Man, who gives a shit? I mean, okay. To be fair, Nibiru is very important in the Utopia matchup. Now they can't even do that. They cannot Nibiru Utopia anymore. That is a big deal. I mean, they can still Valor Utopia though. Valor is still a legitimate interruption against Utopia. It prevents them from searching the counter trap, and that is a pretty big deal. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this isn't the nerf I was expecting. To be honest, I was kind of like, when I saw Reign of Shadows, I was like, oh, Reign of Shadows? Are they gonna remove Winda? I don't think they care to remove Winda. Maybe because of the same thought process I had before where, like, you know, a lot of decks have an out to Winda. Utopia being one of them. I think that Konami is going for the approach of power creep it, don't nerf it, you know? This isn't really a nerf. It just, you know, if you're playing Nibiru in your deck, take it out and put Valor in instead. Branded. Let's see what the difference is here. So previously, you could reveal a Despia or Branded opening in your hand in order to get your search. Now you reveal a Despia monster or Branded opening, then shuffle a card from hand to deck and add a Despia or Branded opening from deck to hand. I see. So it's the same, but you also have a 1 card cost of shuffling something back. So if you guys have activated this skill before, you end up with this ginormous hand, but now the hand will be 1 card shorter. I think that's all right. I think that's completely fine. It does make the deck a little bit more down to earth, but I just feel like it wasn't necessary, to be honest, guys. But hey, it is what it is. We could call it a slap on the wrist, you know, because it is the most popular deck. But what is the Avarice skills difference? The different Avarice skills, I think Live Twins plays it. I don't know if anybody else plays it. Okay, you can use the skills first effect once per turn and twice per duel. You can use the skills first effect twice per duel. Oh, it's not once per turn anymore. Guys, you could activate this skill twice to fix your hand. That's crazy. That might be legit. You get 6 monsters in your grave, 2 of them being the right monster type, and you get a pot of greed if you shuffle all 6 of them into the deck. That's actually pot of avarice. This is actually pot of avarice, guys. Konami cooked. I think Konami cooked here, guys. I think the avarice skills might be playable now. For real. Like getting a draw 2 at the end of your combo, that is how you make live twins good, for example. And potentially these other monster types as well. MST, the MST skill. What's different here? Okay, you can use the skills first and second effects once per duel and 1 effect per turn. And then the original was you can use the skills first and second effects once per duel, 1 effect per turn if your deck. Oh, so it doesn't give a shit about your deck requirement. Okay, and it doesn't make you the first effect like lets you search an MST by shuffling a card back, and the second effect lets you reveal MST to draw 1. But previously you had to put MST back in your deck to draw 1. Now you just draw 1. It's a +1. Doesn't care about your deck requirements, and it just lets you +1. This one is kind of cool. It's kind of cool, but I don't know if it's gonna see play. Just because like deck-based skills are so much stronger. You know what I mean? I don't even know why they bother buffing these non-deck specific skills. The Book of Moon. Yeah, it's the same shit. It's the same shit as the MST. Magical Warrior Call. Okay, this is the last speed duel skill, guys, and it's the last buff. What's the difference? At the start of your main phase, draw a card. Okay. Oh, this is the breaker skill, huh? Okay. So originally, first and second effects once per duel. During your main phase, add a breaker from deck to hand. Okay. And then if only your opponent controls a monster, draw a card. Then shuffle a card from hand to deck. This time you can normal summon a breaker in addition to your normal summoner set. And then the difference is at the start of your main phase, draw a card. You can only do it at the start of your main phase, then shuffle a card from hand to deck, and then okay, and use the second effect is that you search a breaker. So basically what they changed is the 1 became 2 and 2 became 1, and instead of you needing to go second, it just has to be something you do at the start of your main phase, kind of like Pot of Extravagance. Is it Pot of Extravagance? I think so. Then shuffle a card from hand to deck. So it's a hand filtering effect. It was a hand filtering effect before as well, but it just doesn't need your opponent to control a monster basically. So that's okay. And then we got a whole bunch of rush stuff. If you guys want to know whether or not that's relevant, go check out Tomato Sores on YouTube. But yeah, guys, the speed duel ban list is an unban list. It is completely an unban list on the same day as the raw advanced guide, obviously. That's that. And the crazy thing is, bro, I was thinking IDP was about to get unhit and maybe mind control, but mainly IDP. I was like, yeah, bro, there's no reason IDP should be remaining on limit 3. Like the last few ban lists, they unlimited Crackdown and Compulse. IDP is the 3rd one in that trilogy. It was only a matter of time. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's finally unhit. That's probably a buff to live twins too. You know, guys, should I do a live twins update video? But hey guys, that's the video. We can get into doing our other videos without fear of a ban list hurting us. So hey, some guides coming soon. Have yourselves a good one, guys. And I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the Weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean, so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream, so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast. For real.